Hey guys, it's Derek, and in today's unboxing I've got a new product from Amazon Prime. It came super fast as usual in one day, and this is something that I'm going to leave in my new Tesla, the video which will be coming soon. I promise. There've been a lot of people asking me about my first Tesla video, but it's going to take me a little bit of time because I've got some ideas about that. But this is something that I bought from Amazon that's going to help with the everyday running of my Tesla. And here it is. There you go. Now, what is this thing, you ask? Well, as you would know from anyone who either owns a Tesla or has done some research into getting a Tesla, with the Model 3s, you do not get a spare wheel. So if you have any issues with a flat tire, you have to rely on getting Tesla roadside or whatever other roadside service that you are associated with. Like, I know it's uncommon to get a puncture in a car these days, but knowing my luck, I do get them, and over the course of the last, say, 5 years, I've probably had about 4 or 5 punctures, and that usually involves me driving over a nail or a screw, and you gradually just flattens the tire, and then you're in a situation where you have to stop somewhere, change your tire, take your flat tire to the nearest tire place and get that fixed, and it's all a bit of a hassle. Now, this thing here from Amazon does not really fix that problem. Let me just start by saying. Now, ultimately, whenever you get a puncture, you're going to need to either get the tire fixed or you're going to need to get the tire replaced. But the key is, if you don't have a spare tire, how do you get to the tire place to get your tire fixed? Well, clearly you can't. In certain situations when there's a slow leak, something like this product will help you just inflate the tire enough to get you somewhere safe so that you can either have the tire replaced or you can be towed, but just somewhere off to the side of the road where you're not going to run the risk of getting hit by a car. This is the... can't even pronounce it. It's called the FNNNEMGE portable air pump. So not only does this work for car tires, it works for bike tires, it works for football, soccer balls, or whatever else you want to inflate. And this works either by plugging it into the cigarette slot in your car, or it works via USB. It's got a battery inside. So this is something that's going to be portable. I'm actually going to leave it in my front trunk of my Tesla, but it's going to be also very helpful for pumping up bike tires, as I said, soccer balls and like. Now, just quickly back onto the whole Tesla thing is, without the spare tire, you're going to need to call somebody. This might just get you out of a jam. But more importantly, because with a Tesla you no longer have to go to the petrol station to get fuel, you don't want to make that trek just to check your tires. And this gadget here allows you to check your tire pressures and actually inflate them at home. Apart from the fact that you don't have to leave the house, you can just check it in your driveway. In my experience, when you go to the petrol station to check your tires, more often than not there's a queue, which is annoying, and 2 is half the time the tire pressure thing is out of order and you end up driving around looking for one. So what better solution to that than to do it in the comfort of your own home. Now, in terms of the Tesla, there is an alternative, which is something that Tesla makes. It retails for about $110. This is $75 on Amazon. The difference being is that that stuff injects some sort of foam sealant into your tire and helps kind of repair the puncture on the road, which is good because it gets you out of a jam so you can fix the hole, assuming it's not in the sidewall, it's only in the tread, and you can keep driving to your nearest service center. However, with that, even if it's a $30 fix at the tire place, once you've injected that foam sealant stuff, the tire apparently is a write-off, so you can't repair that tire, so it's immediately going to be a $300 or $400 expense. So do you want to do that? Do you want to have that in an emergency with the knowledge that as soon as you use it you're going to wreck your tire? Or do you want to just use this as a stopgap, potentially getting you somewhere, or actually just calling roadside and giving yourself the possibility that you can actually fix the tire and not have to spend the $400 on a new one? As far as I know, the way Tesla roadside service works in terms of a flat tire is they loan you a spare wheel, you put that on, and then you get the other wheel or the tire repaired, and then you take the spare wheel back to Tesla. And that's how it works, which seems okay. The question that's always going to be worrying for me is if you're outside the metro. So if you break down 10 minutes from your house, no big deal. But if you break down in the middle of nowhere, how good is the roadside, and are they going to have spare wheels for you, or are they going to end up towing you? So that's one thing that I'm always a little bit worried about. This, as I said, will not fix that problem, but this will help with a lot of other things, and will help also determine how well inflated your tires are, because the efficiency of your car and the ride and the comfort and everything like that works the best when the tires are optimally inflated. So now that I haven't given you a very compelling reason to buy one of these, apart from the ability to check your tire pressure at home and sort of inflate it at home, let's go to the unboxing. And as usual, I have not got a knife. This got this big plastic seal on it, which I'm not going to be able to open without a knife. You'd think that by making the millionth unboxing video that I would have learnt, and I haven't, and I'm going to come back once I get something that I can use to open this plastic seal on this box. So this is a Leatherman that I got a long time ago, probably when I was back at uni. I found it the other day in the drawer, and it's perfect for opening plastic. And I'll try really hard later not to stab myself in the finger when I put the knife away. But let's get rid of the shrink wrap on this thing and get on with the unboxing. Opens up like that. And it's pretty hefty, it's like a brick really. And this is it. The other stuff inside the box, it comes with a lot of accessories. Let's get rid of the box for a minute. So it comes with a user manual. It comes with a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. It comes with this cable, which is very familiar. This is one that you insert into a car tire. It comes with a cigarette adapter, and it's a very long cable, which is good because it's got to reach obviously all four of your tires in your car. So let's put that to the side there. And it comes with a bag of gadgets. Now at a very minimum, it looks like it comes with a gadget that inflates balls, which is this pointy one here. It's got some other adapters. I hope that these are universal, so if you lose one of these you can just get any of the other ones that go on your normal tire and ball pumps. And on this thing there is the main buttons. There's a tiny LCD screen, there's a torch, there's the bit where you, I guess you insert the needle or the hose that you use to want to inflate stuff. You've got this little plastic cap which uncovers a USB-C in and a USB-A out. And then there is the DC one which you use when you plug it into the cigarette lighter. So let's see if there's any charge on this thing. So I'm going to press one of the buttons. So I'm just going to look at the manual. It says read manual carefully before use. We'll always do that. So how to use the mode button. Short press to turn on and change modes. And to change the inflation objects card, default is 36 psi, motorbike, bicycle, basketball, which is 8 psi, and the default for bicycle is 60, and I guess you can read the rest later. So this thing doesn't come pre-packed with any juice, unless it doesn't work because I can't get it to turn on. So I've got a trusty little battery pack and see if I can plug it in and charge it as I go. So let's stick it into the USB-C in, and look, the screen comes on. Yay! So that means it's working, and it tells you on the top that it's charging, and it's on the car setting. So if I keep changing that, it tells you that the car's default 36, and the one is motorbike, and then there's a bicycle which is 60 as I said, and then basketball which is 8. So what I'll do in a second is I'll take this out and find something to check the pressure of and inflate and show you how good or how badly this thing works. So just looking through the manual quickly, especially it's going to be important when you are inflating a car tire. It says it takes approximately 7 minutes to inflate a car tire from flat to inflated, and you can do that 3 times. So that should just get you out of a jam. And there's a table on here that gives you a rough idea of what pressures you need for different balls and tires and stuff like that. So the first test is to inflate this very dirty soccer ball. This doesn't tell you on here how many psi. It says inflate to 6.8 pounds, whatever that means. But I'm just going to follow the instructions, and it says a football should be pumped up to 8 psi. I'm just going to do that and see what happens. So I'm thinking I'm going to insert that into here and then press the lock key. I could be wrong because it all seems a bit weird, and I'm going to screw that tightly into this socket here, which also is a bit weird, but there you go. Just screw it onto here. So one thing I noticed with this thing is it doesn't come with a case. It would be good if it came with a case, but I guess you can't have everything. And it's a bit of a fiddle right now because I've got the power bank thing attached to it, so it's all twisted on itself. But it shouldn't be the case once it's charged and you don't have the power bank thing on it. And it screws in like so. So now it's screwed in like that. And now I'm going to take this very dirty soccer ball. I'm going to put the mode on to ball. So it's on 8. And I'm going to insert this thing into the ball like that. And I'm going to press OK. So I'm just reading out the instructions. It says short press to turn and change modes, which are done. Press this button to change inflation. Yeah. Long press key for 3 seconds into the mode of select units. You can change units by short press. Okay, so it's on 8, so I'm happy with 8 because that's the default when you set it on the soccer ball setting. Okay, after the machine turned on, short press to start or pause the motor. Well, that was noisy. Okay, I think I figured it out. I've completely deflated this soccer ball so it's squishy now. I'm going to connect this and set it onto 8 psi. I'm going to stick the thing in there. It's going to be a little bit noisy. Let me warn you. I'm going to poke it in there. I'm going to turn this thing on. And hopefully it'll inflate when I press OK. And then when it gets to the setting, it turns itself off. And you now have a fully inflated soccer ball. So we're going to try and pump up this bike tyre. So you put it in there and you clamp it down. You set it for 40, which is what the bike one should be, apparently. It seems like 40 is a lot, because that feels pretty full, doesn't it? Press on there. Yep. So having played with this product for a few minutes, it works really well for inflating soccer balls. I've tried to inflate the bike and you can see in the video it works quite well, but I've had a few issues with this. Now I've tried inflating it with 3 of the other bike tires that we have on the bikes that we own, and it does inflate for sure, but it kind of doesn't seem to go as high as the setting, so it kind of stops. The bike tire feels inflated, but it doesn't go. For example, for my daughter's bike that we were pumping up, we had it set on 40 psi, and it got to about 20 something and it just stopped. I don't know whether it's a true reading of 20 something psi or whether it managed to get to 40 because it's meant to stop when it hits the tire pressure, but there's not really any way to know. And you know, when you go to the petrol station, you check your tire and you put that thing in, it doesn't, I can't remember actually whether it tells you the tire pressure before you start to inflate, but it kind of just starts to inflate, doesn't it? So you just plug it in, you see the number and just starts to automatically go up. There's no buttons to press or anything like that. There is a button here to press. You don't get a pressure reading before you press the button. It's a matter with all these tech gadgets, it's a matter of trusting the item, and right now I don't know that I trust it. Like, I could stick it into my Tesla tire right now, but my concern is if it doesn't work, I'm going to have a flat tire here and I'm not going to be able to take it to one of the gas stations because my tire's going to be flat. So it might be something that I'm going to test out when I actually take one of our cars to the petrol station. I might try checking the tires and inflating it with this thing, with the backup of the fact that if this thing doesn't work properly or if it's not accurate, I can stick it into the tire pressure inflator at the petrol station to make sure that we don't have a flat tire. And that's probably what I'm going to do, because right now, to be completely fair, it's a good in principle, but I don't trust this thing 100%. In fact, I don't even trust it 75% right now because I have no way of knowing whether it's accurate or not. And it's not something that I want to play around with at home, with the risk that I'm going to end up with an underinflated tire that I'm not going to be able to get to the petrol station. So that's going to be my plan. The video is going to end here. I'm going to just leave the cars as they are. I'm going to use it to inflate footballs and soccer balls. It doesn't matter if it's accurate or not, but in terms of inflating my Tesla tires or my wife's car tires, I'm going to try it out one time when we're actually in the location of an actual tire pressure pump thing, and just to make sure that this thing works properly. But until then, the jury's out. It is about 75 bucks, can't remember exactly. I can't tell you right now if it's well spent or if it's a dud. I will try and report back to you in a future video. I might make a short or something like that once I do eventually get to a petrol station where I can check it out safely. But right now, as I said, I don't have a lot of faith in this device. So unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you. It is something that you should consider if you have got a car, whether it's a Tesla or anything else which doesn't come with a spare wheel, with the potential that you may have a flat tire, number one. And two is if you are just one of those people who can't be bothered getting to the petrol station and you just want to check your car tires pressures at home and perhaps even inflate them when you're at home, it's just got to be a reliable product, and I'm not 100% sure about this one yet. So as usual, if you like my videos, remember to leave me a thumbs up, leave a comment below if you've had this product or anything similar, and let me know how accurate and how trustworthy that product is. And until next time, I'll catch you in another video. See ya.
It's fine.
Yeah, try the brakes.
No brake.
No,
Oh, yeah,
those ones.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, just do a little lap. Don't go too weird at the moment.
Yeah, it does work.
Just watch out for the cars.
It brakes works.
Yeah, it safely, stops it.
Yep.
Okay.